Hello, Rosie here with a story and an invitation. So a while back, I was going through a phase in my professional life where I was feeling like it was time for me to kind of come out more and learn how to use technology and, do something like this, like make videos where I just kind of share what I'm thinking about, or maybe create some kind of online program or whatever, so that I could kind of expand my outreach and connect with more people and hopefully serve people in a more effective way than I was able to do in my little hidden cocoon in my Berkeley house. And my husband is this extremely gifted techno guy. I mean, he can make movies, he can do Photoshop, he can make websites, he can do all these kinds of things. And there was a period where I kind of felt like I just needed his help in order to be able to do all these things that I wanted to do. And so I was like dependent on him, and I was like kind of going after him like, oh, well, Kim, do you have a few minutes? Maybe you can help me do this, or maybe you can help me do that, because I wanted it to be professional and I wanted it to look good, and he had all these incredible skills that I didn't have, and blah, blah, blah. And then I realized I started to feel like more and more resentful, like, that he was prioritizing other things, other aspects of his work, other relationships, technology needs for other people, and I'm like sitting there like, like chomping at the bits, like, when is he going to start prioritizing me? I'm waiting, I've got all this stuff I want to get out there, and I'm waiting for this guy, right? And then it occurred to me that, like, I was just way too dependent on him. And in a way, this was kind of like a similar pattern, I think, that I had in my life in general, like feeling like I can't let myself do something unless I have someone else that I'm leaning against that's going to support me or encourage me or help make it happen. And I don't know, something just woke up inside of me, and I said, you know what, I don't care if I do this in a super professional way or not. I'm just going to try and do this, right? So I just like sat down in my office one day. I sat in front of this little webcam, and I imagined that I was talking to somebody that I really cared about. And I made my own little ad hoc video. And, I felt so proud of myself because I wasn't waiting for him to come through and be that horse on, that white knight on a white horse or something like that to come and rescue me. And then interestingly enough, when I finally just like took the reins back and took control of my own life and got more sort of inspired, because I felt like, hey, I can do this with or without him, then he got to, just organically became much more interested in what I was doing and wanted to help out. So he could help me a little bit here and there about like creating a little intro and a little final thing and maybe make it a little bit nicer than I could do on my own. So anyway, this was such a wonderful learning lesson for me, and it's just, of course, a metaphor for all the ways in which this kind of a pattern can show up in our lives, where we're waiting to have an experience, to express something, to manifest something, to engage in something, and we're thinking that we're dependent on someone else to give us permission or to pave the way or make it easier or make it safe for us to come out. So that's my question for you. What are you waiting for? What are the things that you really want to do, but you're absolutely sure you can't do it unless this, that, or the other thing? And my invitation is that you just see if there's any way you can go ahead and do it anyway. Now, obviously, there are some things you can't really do that with. Like you can't really, there are some things, like, for example, having a kid, that you actually can do that now without necessarily waiting to have a partner. But you know what I'm saying. I mean, it's not so black and white, but there are ways to move and to engage in a passion without having to wait, and to be creative about that. So there you go. What are you waiting for?